And hopefully we should now be live with a party political broadcast for the anti-Keir Starmer party. Fuck you, you nugget. So we should be live. I wonder if I can get us banned in the first minute.
Probably, yeah.
I shall try. So
If anyone can succeed, it will be you, Matt.
it will be me, mate. I'm proud of it. It will be a chilled show with ranting in between. I have a couple of ranty points to make this evening. One, if nobody has read it, is the fact that Keir Starmer has decided he will be bringing in a tax per mile for all road users. So it will be roughly 5.3 pence per mile for every mile you drive, on top of your normal tax that you pay on your car. There's a possibility that fuel prices might come down a little bit, but I can't see that being the government.
Yeah.
Can't see that. Oh, look, Tyler and Bella are in. Well done, you two. The other one is kind of a funny one. I've seen footage of Keir Starmer today has been at Doncaster Racecourse with his good lady wife. We'll get to that bitch in a minute. And on arriving, he was greeted in the usual wonderful manner. And I'm very proud of everybody in Doncaster and who was at the races. He was greeted with such wonderful sayings of the North as, "You wanker, you prick, revolution, fuck off, dickhead." So I think we can safely say that Keir Starmer is much loved by the British people. He's done a lovely job at really popularising himself. I think he's the most hated politician that we've ever had in this country, bar none.
Yeah.
Unless you can think of any, guys, because I honestly can't. I was thinking about it earlier, and I went back through, sort of back to before Churchill, and back to, going back probably 100 years or more. And I can't think of one who's been hated that much.
I can't think of any. No.
We've had a few where people have said, "Oh, he's a bit of a dickhead," or "He's a bit of a, whatever," but not where the entire country has hated. I mean, just pure hatred.
I mean, let's be honest. Keir Starmer has united the people.
Yeah, he has. He's succeeded in that.
Not the way he planned, but sure did.
That's true, Tyler.
He has united the people. Everybody hates him, even his own party. I was actually quite proud of my new Labour MP. She voted against Keir Starmer's plans to withdraw the heating allowance.
Good for her.
She voted against him.
And I think a lot of them...
As did about a third of her party.
Yeah. The other thing that Keir Starmer, and this one includes his good lady wife, is Keir Starmer wife is getting paid off and a paid allowance from certain companies for clothing.
Good evening, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Evening, yes, she's getting paid off in clothes and so on. So while the rest of the poor, the pensioners and people who haven't got money she's getting free shit when she has actually got money.
And she has no shortage of it.
It's a wonderful, wonderful system that we're going into. Yes, Stevie, I am moaning like fuck. And I'm making no apology for it because I'm guarantee everybody agrees.
And yes, Steve, I did need half an hour after the C-type pictures.
Yeah, we've only just got him on the show. Not sure what he was up to, but
Yeah.
But what it's proven to me is Starmer knew he was unpopular and has actually gone even further to make himself unpopular. No, Stevie, it's not. It's in the news who it is. I can't remember. But it's ridiculous. And like I just said about the pay per mile, that you're going to have to pay per mile from now on your car.
The only thing I like about pay per mile is it's hitting the electric users first.
Good. It's
because their cars are already set up with the tracking computers.
The thing is, I thought there was a law against tracking people in what they do.
There is. We're supposed to have freedom of movement.
You have to give permission.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, anybody that gives permission for one of these black boxes, whatever it is, to put on their cars is an idiot.
Oh no, there will be people who will be. It's a good idea.
Oh, there's always certain people that think any.
Because the next thing they'll
That's a
do
good idea.
is you'll end up getting speeding fines because they'll be tracking you on speed and they'll be slowing people's cars down via the app and so on. This is dangerous stuff. This is Big Brother. This is proper Big Brother.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the scary thought about it. They're not only they're looking at your speed, looking at where you're at, where you're going, how often you're going there. And basically you can make a whole database out of just one person's movements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they'll be able to track. They'll be able to track where you are, where you go to, what you do, what you buy, who you go to. That's exactly, Steve. Evening, Lee. Hope the show was good, buddy.
Hey, Lee.
He's been off gallivanting again.
Oh boy.
Hello, sir. But I mean, all the stuff coming in, there is nothing good there.
What I want to know is they're going to bring in this tracking thing, okay? So they can track your speed, your mileage, what shop you go to, who you see, blah, 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 blah. What happens if your car gets stolen? You go to the police and you say, "Oh, my car's been stolen. Can you track it?" Oh, no, we can't do that. You can see it, can't you?
Oh yeah. That's exactly what's going to happen. Oh, we don't have access to that network. We can't get into that.
But that's the point. That's the point. It's on the network, which means it has to go through the internet and through British Telecom's network in the UK. So all you need to do, and I'm already looking into this, is find a way of just hacking their little system. And I think it's quite simple from what I can see. A lot simpler than you think.
I'll say you look electric cars, all you've got to do is phone the manufacturer's hub and your car can be disabled immediately.
Yeah. I'm not having that.
Well, especially if you have an EV, because you got to think with everything being electrical, it'd be so easy for them to put a right there by the battery and just shut the whole system down.
You already can.
What you can do,
you can do it with all the Teslas.
Well, I don't really care about that. You could blow them all up for all I care, the Teslas. Along with the pointless twats who own them. Oh, talking. We're going political, Dave. Hold your teeth. What's left of them?
Both of them.
Yeah, they're in a cup. How's David? You remember in France we had the French Revolution, where they got rid of all of like the people in power. Do you think we could have a British Revolution? Well, I reckon we should have a British Revolution, and we should start using Tower Hill in London for beheadings.
Again.
Of political figures. Starting with Keir Starmer. Rename it Keir Starmer Hill. I don't see any other way forward. I'm getting you started, Lisa. I'm getting you started.
No, but Lee's got a good point. What if they do put a limit on everything?
They will.
Where you've got only so many miles per month, and all of a sudden you can't go to the grocery store because you're out of miles.
They will do. It's going to happen. They're on about the minimum rate, I think, is £150 a year extra at the moment. I haven't really read into it, but it's something like that. It's all about it's Big Brother and control of the people.
Yeah.
It's something has got to happen. It's all very well people ranting and us doing this and ranting on here. It needs people to actually start doing something about it to overthrow what government we do have now. Something has got to happen. And it's got to happen quickly. Yes.
The bit that gets me is we've got a government with one of the largest majorities in the last 50 years and the smallest share of the vote.
Yeah.
So we have a minority government.
I'm not surprised, you know. I'm really not surprised by that statement. I just. The only way I see of going forward is a call of we want this government out and dissolving. Get rid of them. And we need a government in power who will get things back working. I know it'll be hard. There'll still be problems, but back to a normal, workable situation.
I think the only way to do it would be to have another election and it be proportional representation, which means you would have a government of unity.
Do you know what scares me at the minute? Because he keeps cropping up every 2 seconds. Is Farage.
Yeah.
And the way people are feeling at the minute,
A dickhead like him could even get power.
and that is the last thing we did. That would just be just as bad.
Yeah.
But in a different way. I agree with you, Steve. I agree with you. The problem is people aren't willing to actually get up and do something about this. It's all very well them sitting there and saying, "Oh yeah, I hate Keir Starmer. He's this, he's that. He shouldn't be allowed to do this." And when it comes down to saying to them, "Right, what are you going to do? Are you going to help? Are you going to get out on the streets and show the government that we're not happy?" Oh well, the football's on. No. You've actually got to actually get off your arse and do something. I mean, I know there's people who can't do it for whatever, maybe physical reasons or whatever. Fine, but the country has got to start pulling together. The added benefit of some of this is the things on the vaping thing have kind of not been spoken about for a little while. But the election's coming.
Right. And you know it's going to be a key point for anybody who wants to get extra votes. Oh, we're here to save the children again.
Yeah, we've got.
Well, I read a rumor the other day that they are actually considering what we've been saying to them for years, which is licensing vape shops. And the money goes to enforcement.
Yeah, well,
the bit we can't get them to agree on is appropriate fines to actually discourage the bad apples in the game.
Yeah, because we wouldn't want the black market to get involved, would we? Shit, it already is, isn't it? That's right.
It already has half the bloody market.
We've talked about it before. They go in, they raid a shop, and it doesn't do shit.
And I'm going to say it again. I'm going to upset people, and this is my opinion, not these other two guys on this, so don't have a go at them. If you want to have a go at someone, you go have a go at me. Is that all these people in vaping and vape viewers, they're all going on about the new device from Bogan, the new device from whoever. But you're not saying anything about what is going on with vaping. You're not pulling together and saying, "Ooh, budget's coming up. We better do something. No, let's just stick our head up our arse. We'll just ignore that and hope it goes away. Then when it does turn up, the idiots are going to be going, oh, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, but there are certain idiots who I don't think have seen sunshine for years.
No, because their head's been too busy with their head up the... Anyway.
Yeah.
It's lucky glass stomachs are available on the NHS for certain Scottish people, isn't it?
It is.
Sorry. I'm going to get myself fucking banned. I shouldn't say these things, but just it's so infuriating with how people's attitudes fucking stink, quite honestly.
Well, you have to look at it logically, and that's what gets frustrating.
No,
If you don't look at it from look at the basis of the legal side of things. If it's not handled there, I don't care what new device comes out.
Evening,
It's not gonna do
William.
you any bit of good. Hey,
Hope you're
William.
well, buddy. Hope you're well.
But it's not going to do you any bit of good that so and so has a new device. If it's illegal to have your vape in the first place, or it's going to cost you so much to get a bottle of juice, it's not worth doing it.
Well, it could be those certain people that used to do our show on a Thursday. Yeah, yes, Lee, it could. Yeah.
It could very well
It
be.
could. It might. Yes. Maybe.
Probably.
Tuesday.
It's quite possible.
What are we on about? I've confused myself now.
Banana.
Squirrel. No, but being, I mean, I don't want it to be all doom and gloom on it, but it's just like, what's going on in the world? It's nobody seems to give a shit about each other, do they? They just really don't care. There's no, we need to pull together, we need to do something about it. It's like, oh, well, why should I help? I've got e-liquid. I get free e-liquid. Why should I care? Well, I'm not a pensioner. Why should I give a shit about the pensioners? Well, because one day, with a bit of luck, maybe you'll become a pensioner. You know,
Not the way things are going.
there's a few of them who I hope don't. But you know, these are people who've worked all their fucking lives. They deserve a more comfortable way of life as they get older. You know, they deserve the ability to be able to get NHS care, to have heating, to have food, to have care from other people. And at the minute, nah.
That's a good point, William. In a lot of ways, Labour didn't say they were going to do anything. Well, they've been successful. They've done Sweet FA.
As much use as a broken chocolate fireguard.
Just to lighten the mood for a minute, I had some good news this week.
Oh, you've got your operation going.
No, the ointment worked.
No, not that one. No, not that one.
The leeches worked.
No, they've actually recognised that I am disabled after all.
Well, we knew that for fucking years, mate. But
I know we knew that, but they wouldn't recognise it. They have.
It's about time they did, mate. I'm pleased you've got it back.
16 months since they stopped that benefit. That's a long time to be scrimping and saving.
Oh, yeah.
Here, I've got an idea. I've got a good idea. What all pensioners should do. You remember Monty Python, Hell's Grannies?
Yeah.
All pensioners should go out, right, and attack the police, beat the police up, and then they'll get sentenced and put in prison. They'll have heating, they'll have food, they'll have telly, have a Christmas dinner. Problem solved.
The on-site medical care, you're perfect.
There you go. We've solved the problem. I mean, our dickhead of a prime minister has let all of a lot of the criminals out of prison, and a lot of those have been speedos.
I said, did you see the latest though? The highest number ever have been returned already.
Yeah. Well, I thought you'd be up for it, Dave. Dave wants to attack a policeman. Is that just randomly or actually for a purpose? Just it wouldn't be the first time. He's come close before.
That's a good point, actually. Where do you find the place?
McDonald's usually.
Oh, that's right. You guys don't have Krispy Kreme over there.
No, well, we do, but not in the same way as you do, mate. But our police are about as much use as your police, yes. The coffee and donuts, that type. Yeah. Well, we know how long the police take to get to yours, Dave. I mean, I've been online with you when he's had trouble with his neighbour. Dave's threatened to cave his head in with a baseball bat, allegedly, and called the police. About 4 hours later, me and Dave were still sat there chatting away, and there's a knock. Who the fuck's that, Dave? Well, I don't know. Oh, yeah, it was the police. I called them.
Jeez.
And you can see the police station from his window.
He could throw the baseball bat at the police station and hit it. God, Dave, that was what, 2-3 years? That was?
Yeah, it's got to be 3 years ago.
I mean, I will say the coppers that actually turned up that night were actually all right. They were pretty decent coppers, to be fair to them.
Yeah, once they got there.
Yeah, they were all right. Like, yeah, some of the
4
coppers.
years. Oh, your as will be spent soon then.
Yeah, Dave got an ASBO. The two greatest ASBOs I have never known in the world, right, are Dave, who never goes out, and he got an ASBO, and my dog. My dog had an ASBO because my dog didn't like drug addicts. And I warned her, stay away from my dog, and my dog took offence at her and decided to nibble her a bit. It was only a bit of her leg. I did warn her that she wouldn't listen. And then she kicked out at my dog, and the dog decided to take a chunk out of her leg. Don't try kicking my fucking dog. Well, if Gwendolyn had been alive, I'd have just stuck Gwendolyn on her.
Probably got a bigger chunk out of her leg.
I say she'd be lucky to get away with her leg.
Are you still doing the? Go on, mate.
I've seen Gwendolyn throw a paddy. That's not a euphemism anymore.
That's also true, Dave. That is also very true. Are you still doing your gaming, Dave, or? Here we go with the jokes on poor defenceless Dave.
I don't know. There was a lot of nights in that after Zoom room that Dave took the piss out of everybody for hours on end. So he's built up some credits.
The thing was, right, is we all knew what I used to love with Dave was we all got away with it. With Dave got away with it with us. We got away with it with Dave because it was always done in fun, and we'd all do it to each other in fun. Is when you got somebody new in there who decided they were going to pick on Dave because it was like, oh shit, it's not going to end well.
Oh, especially if they came in cocky about it and they were just ready to start doing it as soon as they walked in the room. It's like, no, you better just take 2 steps back and let Dave start first.
You'd see this like mischievous little grin on his face. He's like,
I can't help wondering, did a certain South African come into the room one night? I think he did and started.
Yeah. Quote, all right, Baldy. As soon as he said that to Dave, I think I actually looked back on it now. I just went, oh, this is not going to end well. You're neither of those, Dave. Stop lying.
No, you're not sweet and innocent. You're artificial sweetener and guilty as hell.
Oh, Biscoff cheesecake. Good choice, Lisa. Yes, Dave, you are a bad liar.
Yeah.
You forget some of us have known you a long time.
Yeah, we know what you like. I take it they've decided to change your heart medication around again, which is not good. It's not good, that, mate. Yeah, it is a great song. And Liar fits in so well with Keir Starmer.
Don't think Keir Starmer would know the truth if it bit him on the arse.
You know, something about music. I have spent most of this week, apart from listening to my usual stuff that I listen to, I decided to go and listen to some Woody Guthrie. Okay. Because I've never really listened to a lot of Woody, but I went back and listened to some Woody Guthrie stuff. And when you listen to some of the songs that Woody Guthrie did about politics and the way politicians treat their people and governments treat their people, especially America, wow. I mean, some of that stuff was written back in like the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
It still applies. Everything he fucking said, it's still up to date. It's still.
Well, do you remember a few years ago, Springsteen did the Sega sessions?
Pete Seeger. Oh, Pete was another one, wasn't he?
Pete was another one, but some of the songs that he did were actually Woody's.
Yeah.
But he'd already recorded several of Woody Guthrie's songs before that.
Yeah.
Which was why I decided to do the Seeger sessions, which were brilliant.
How old Pete Seeger was. He was 98 when he died. Pete Seeger. He lived to a good old age, did Pete?
And
Exactly,
Obama's
Steve.
at Obama's inauguration, he sang the other two verses of "This Land Is Your Land,"
Yep.
and there was only 3 people who knew those 2 verses: Pete, Woody, and Bruce Springsteen. Because beforehand, Pete taught Springsteen the song.
Yeah. Yeah, that's worrying, that is, Dave, that the problem is are they going to find the right medications for you?
Yeah.
It's
Some of the medications are not nice. I know, because I need to change one of mine.
I know he's had problems in the past with some of his meds, and it's really fucked him up. Bless him.
But for me, over half of the blood pressure medications have already been ruled out because they've caused side effects that were definitely not wanted.
Well, I hope they get you sorted soon, Dave, because it can't be doing your health any good, mate. It really can't.
That's very true, Steve. It does prove politics don't change only people.
It never has it? Politics has never, no matter what country it is, does it?
Politicians have never worked for the people unless the people have a hell of a lot of money.
And we're
The
never
only
going to.
politicians that worked for the people ended up dead.
Yeah.
The issue I have with politicians is the same as Lemmy did. They're all liars. They're all greedy. They're all bullshitters. You can't trust them. That's end of. Don't need to say any more. If they promise you something, I guarantee they'll go back on it. They'll lie. Fuck's sake, Stevie, you need to be careful as well, mate. I mean, I know we joke about about you losing your leg, but
Yeah, it takes a while for some of those to stabilise.
I hope you get it sorted, Steve. I really do, and Dave, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's worrying when you get. Exactly, Dave. Exactly. Politicians are just a bunch of greedy bastards.
Well, it's always been like that. I mean, money has always drove politics.
Essentially, William, yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. But Labour, when Blair took over, Blair turned the Labour Party into the Conservative Party. If that makes sense. It was a Labour by name, Conservative by views.
And it hasn't changed.
And now, of course, Keir Starmer behind the scenes, you've got Tony Blair whispering in his ear saying, "Oh, you need to do this," along with the other fucking bearded wonder.
Well, that's not good, Lisa.
For fuck's sake, Lise. Sorry about that. It's fucking.
I have to agree with you there, Steve. John Smith was probably the last reasonable Labour leader.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
just
that's-
leader at the wrong time.
That's the one, Dave. Basically, there is no Labour Party left. Not Labour as we would have known Labour. None exist. So how did the show go then, Lee and Lisa? Did you have fun on your day out? Did you come away with empty wallets? At least going to the guitar show, you can have a good day rather than going to the expo and having a shit day.
Yeah.
I'll
And
be
still having
honest,
empty wallets.
I have no interest in going to Expo. I don't want to go and watch a group of people whose sole aim is to get pissed.
And slap each other on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just before they stab each other in the back. Well, yeah, I
That's
know that,
unusual,
Lisa.
really.
I know your purse or wallet's always empty, don't they?
Oh, I know the one he'll be on. Yeah. Wegovy.
You let us say
The trouble is they fuck about with meds. I mean, look what it did to Dave with his skin at one point. How bad Dave ended up.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Dave ended up in a right bad place. He's got another pedal.
Next thing you're going to need, Lee, is wheels for the bike. You've got the pedals.
I would like to apologise for that bloody awful dad joke that Bill's just made. Oh dear.
Yeah, but if they bring in the pence per mile to drive, he's going to need a push bike.
Well, just wait. That'll be next.
What, they're going to start taxing
Pay per pedal.
pay per pedal? What's the next one? Pay per breath of oxygen.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, America's going to pioneer that one when Trump gets back in.
Well, there's only so much clean air left, so they got to charge you for it.
Dave's coming back with the jokes now.
Just because you had the triangular ones, Dave.
Dave didn't have a push bike. He had a donkey.
Hey, Dave's past relationships are none of our business there, Matt. You be nice.
No, I said he had a donkey, not he. No. I could have given Dave a bit of credit there, could I? I could have said Dave was hung like a donkey, but trouble was it was one of those little straw ones that you get from Spain. You see how much money is owed on the fines for that, Stevie? How many millions? And there's fuck all to do about it. Bring it on, Lee.
Yeah, but I'm not going to get the V8, Lee. I'm going to get the V12 Lambo.
You get what you like.
Well, if we're gonna go full Mad Max, I'm going to go all out.
More likely end up on donkeys. That's no enough.
Forget a motorcycle club. We got a donkey club. Wait for it.
More like a bunch of asses.
There you go.
I was going to say, you've already got Harleys.
I'd sooner have the donkey. I'd sooner have a donkey.
It's more reliable.
More reliable.
Fucking Harley. Fucking, you've set me off now, haven't you? On fucking Harleys. Every time I hear a Harley go down the road, it always makes me think, oh, somebody's cutting their lawn. I never think, oh, that sounds nice. That's a nice bike. I always think, oh, a pile of shit. How could you start a company that fucking long ago and the basic design of the engine hasn't changed? It was a shit design when you first built it.
And yet they still use it.
And they still use it. Over 100 years, you think somebody would have thought, aha, you know what? We could develop a new engine here. No.
No, you know what it was? I bet you somewhere along the line, Harley Davidson and Jeep manufacturer got together.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Said, this is what we're doing, and we're sticking with it.
Yeah, I fully appreciate if something works, stick with it, you know. And there's been some good vehicles like that. Land Rovers, transit vans, the old Escorts, things like that, old Rover V8s, things like that. They've worked. And they've lasted a long time. But some things were a shit design in the first place. Just
I said, somebody on the estate's got a Harley. You can hear that thing 2 miles away. With all the doors and windows closed.
And doesn't it make you think, oh, somebody's doing their lawn?
No, because I prefer the sound of a lawnmower.
A nicely tuned Briggs and Stratton. Oh, now you're talking.
Yeah, but even the Honda 120, nicely made engine.
You know, I think I've only in my entire career on bikes, I only ever worked on a Harley once. I've never worked on something so agricultural. It's like working on a tractor. There's just no refinement in it. There's no. It's just awful. The chrome's badly plated. You know, if you get a rain shower, all the chrome falls off. Yeah, all the chrome goes rusty and it falls off.
Mm-hmm.
The bolts go rusty and fall out. You pay double the price of a Japanese bike for something that will last about a third of the time. I don't get why people want Harleys.
Not even British Leyland made better vehicles than Harley Davidson.
Yes, Steve. The new Commando does sound rather nice. Yes, I'll give you that. Yeah, it's a nice looking bike as well. They've kept it retro, but not too much. It's nice. It's a good looking bike. Very good looking. A little bit on the pricey side, but you know, yeah. The only thing I have against Norton was the guy who owns the factory that restarted it the first time was ripping a lot of people off for finance, for money and stuff. But I think they've got that sorted now. India makes some damn good vehicles, you know, Steve. I mean, one of the biggest manufacturers of Jeeps or Jeep-style vehicles, pickup trucks, tractors, is Tata, who used to own Jaguar, of course.
They still make the old Austin Cambridge.
And there's a lot of, they were still used as taxis, aren't they?
Yeah. Because they're a good vehicle.
That's what Dave said. He had one new. You know what Dave's favourite car was, don't you? It was green with a vinyl roof. The Green Goddess.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Flintstone Mobile, where it had the big stone front wheel, big stone back wheel, you know, a couple calluses, you're all right.
I tell you what, Dave had over years. Dave's had a lot of bikes.
How about you buy more Fruity Pebbles and some Choco Pebbles?
Dave's had some nice bikes over the years. He's also crushed a few, but we won't go into that.
That's one thing I've never done in my life has been on a motorcycle. I mean, I've been on the back of them, but I've never actually ridden one.
Oh God, you're missing so much, mate.
Dude, I've been trying for years, but I've never had the money to buy one. I've been trying for the last 10 years.
All you need to do, sell the kids medical science, So the missus.
If I can get $1,000 per kid,
yeah.
about $100 for the missus, we'll be all right.
There you go.
Yeah.
We've solved it. And then you get freedom of the open road without nagging in your ear. Nothing like the freedom of being on a bike. Love it. Well, I was just wondering that, Lee. You know, I'd have to have a proper chat with him about this bike thing.
He does need to get one.
Nothing like having bikes. Even after all the pain they've caused me, but, you know, I wouldn't change it for the world. I'd have another one today. It's the worst addiction you could ever get, bikes. Tell you now. It's a terrible addiction. Terrible. Worse than any drug.
Okay. If I could wear a helmet still, I'd be riding.
Oh, wear a helmet. I thought, yeah. The joys of that's the joys of crashing them, mate. That is.
Yeah.
Crashing them is the bit that's not great.
No, my favourite one crash on a bike is still when somebody in a Volvo slammed me into a wall on the roundabout in Scarborough.
What was it? It's you, me, and Dave have all been taken out over the years by Volvos. But no. Well, hold on. I'll just correct that. You and I have both been taken out by Volvos. Dave went the alternative route and did a preemptive strike and crashed into the front of the Volvo that was parked. Of all the things.
I got back on the bike, followed this Volvo down onto the foreshore. He parked up. I just took my helmet off and put it through his windscreen.
Seems reasonable.
I said, it's obvious you don't need that because you're not looking where you're going. Okay, it cost me a helmet, but got the point across.
I was going to say, your point was made.
Only Dave could crash into the front of a parked car. I mean, oh, dear. He did write the Volvo off, though. It's quite impressive.
That is impressive.
It's quite impressive, that, really. Manages to write a Volvo off with a bike. I'm sorry, but Volvo drivers years ago, not so much nowadays, but years ago, were the biggest bunch of cunts on the road.
86% of all motorcycle accidents involving another vehicle, the vehicle was a Volvo.
Yeah.
90% were the fault of the Volvo.
Yeah.
Meaning over 75% of all motorbike accidents were caused by Volvos.
They were lethal. And it was all down to the Volvo advertising department. Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say, Lee. Now they all drive Audis. Every dickhead drives an Audi. Or BMW.
I'll say around here it's more BMWs.
Over here it's more Audis. A lot of them drive Audis. Oh, God. A lot over here, a lot of them drive like the big 4-wheel drive ones, the SUV, or what do they call them? the Q7s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mercedes aren't much better either. I'll give you that one as well, William. I don't know what it is. They seem to get these cars, and this is not me being sexist, but every one I seem to see driven, the SUVs especially, are always driven by 30 to 50-year-old women, mothers, and they're always driven badly.
Yeah.
They go in fast somewhere, but they're not sure where. There's easier ways to learn to fly, Dave. Take it from someone who did roughly the same. Because it's there, so they think they have a right to drive it. And because their car is bigger than your car, their attitude is fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the attitude. That's what makes these people so fucking dangerous.
I was going to say, 15 years ago, another one that was bad was the big Renaults.
Yeah. And then it went for company cars, wasn't it, years ago as well, like Vauxhall Cavaliers, Mondeos. Then it was BMWs as company cars and Mercs and Audis. Nowadays, it's mostly SUVs.
Yeah, and then you look at the price tag on them; they're $70,000 SUVs.
Which means that they have more of a right on the road than anyone else in their head. No, you really don't.
Yeah, but if you actually look into it, most of them are on lease.
Yeah.
They don't own the vehicles.
They
don't even buy the vehicles. They lease the buggers.
Yeah. I have done things like that before as well, Lee. I once did it to somebody I was overtaking on a double white line, but I was on the white line overtaking. And a woman actually started trying to shove me into oncoming traffic. And as I went past, I took my hand off the clutch hand off, grabbed her fucking wing mirror, twisted it off, and threw it straight through her fucking windscreen. I was a cunt when I was on a bike. And if somebody decided to do something like that to me, you were going to get it back, I promise you. Plus, I always used to have a jack handle in my boot as well. So if you piss me off, you're liable to get a jack handle wrapped around the side of your fucking head. But car drivers, I think, have got better now. A lot of car drivers have got better. Exactly. You just said it there, William, right? You drive the Seat Arona, which is like the people-y carrier. No, it's not. It's the SUV one, if I remember rightly. And that's big enough for you, your missus, the kids. What more do you need? It's comfortable. They're quite a good car, as far as I know. It does what you need it to do. What more do you need?
That's bad.
That's Audi build quality for you.
Yep.
But 12,000 miles?
But have you seen the size of those Q7s? If you go into a Asda or a supermarket, they're white line to white line, right? They're too wide, and they're too long. They stick out the space. And then add to that, people can't park very well anyway. We all know that when they park in a parking space, the chances of somebody parking square in a parking space, yeah, well, I agree with that as well. I've said that for years, Lee. That I think all car drivers should ride a bike first because it would make car drivers far better. Car drivers, because as a motorcyclist, you look at the road. You look at what's on the road. You look for potholes. You look for puddles. You look for gravel patches. You look for diesel that's been dropped by somebody. You look for all these things. As a car driver, you don't. So I actually think it's beneficial, even if it was a moped, right? Even if somebody has a moped, it teaches them the craft of being able to look what's on the road, look round them, think, oh shit, I better be careful here, better be careful there. I've got to think a bit.
I mean, that was why at 16. Well, sounds about right, yeah. No, I look back when I was 16, I did ride a training course. My instructor was one of the best instructors in the UK. He went into all the instructors' competitions, including AARAC and 2 of the motorcycle groups as well. And he won all of those as an instructor.
Yes, Dave, you do, don't you, for racing round the fucking local shopping precinct. Fucking hooligan. You'd never think Dave was a right hooligan in his day, would you?
Yes.
Oh, yes, you would.
Some of the stories Dave's told me over the past, honestly. It's terrible. The Salford Grand Prix. I don't think that's a bad idea, William. I do think in this country, I think you should have to do motorway driving before you pass your test. You should have to do night driving before your test.
Yeah.
And you should have to drive in bad conditions, be they foggy conditions, wet conditions, rather than just putting someone on the road, male or female, who's not got a clue, and then them trundling off down a motorway, not having a clue what they're doing.
Well, especially at 16, 17 years old.
Exactly. Here in Ireland, they have R plates, which is like a restricted plate. So if you pass your test, you're restricted to certain things. Like I think you're restricted on speed, and I think you're restricted on the time of day you're allowed to drive.
I have to say, I think, Australia have the P plates.
Here's the.
They did talk about trialing P plates in this country, and you had to drive with P plates for 2 years.
And who did they do it to, though? They were meant to do it, like you said, to everybody. Didn't do it to car drivers. They did it to motorcyclists.
Yeah.
This is what pisses me off with the UK, right? And a few bikers in here, and I know people will agree with this. There's this attitude that everybody who rides a bike is a troublemaker. If you go off me and Dave and Bill and Lee, you've probably got a fair point there. But the point is, right, Not all bikers are troublemakers. Not all bikers are lunatics on bikes. But the attitude in this country is, right, we won't let them have a bike over X amount of cc's. We won't let them have more than this amount of horsepower. We won't let them. We'll have to do a license for this. You'll have to do a license for that. Yes, I know I am, Lee. You'll have to do a license for that. But if you're a car driver, you're 17, you go and pass your test, you get your driving license, and your daddy is a multi-millionaire. What car do you want, son? Oh, can I have a Ferrari, Dad? Yeah, all right, then, son. Go out and buy a Ferrari and drive like a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm. And end up in a ditch 2 months later.
And I'm not wishing that, I'm not, because somebody's rich or whatever, that they end up dead. I'm wishing that on anybody, God forbid. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to bring in a rule to restrict and for safety of the person themselves, okay. Bring in a sensible rule for bikes, yes. Do the same for cars. So you're trying to say you weren't a loony on your bike, William? I'm predicting you're a lying bastard. Look, we've all been a bit loony on bikes over the years. You know, I admit I've done crazy shit. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that we're back to the government. If you're going to have safety rules in place for bikes, those rules need to apply to car drivers, new car drivers. Because God, fuck me, as soon as I got a driving license for a car, mate, I was like Stig Blomqvist. I was sideways round every roundabout going. It was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I admit it.
Can't say I wasn't.
I admit I was a lunatic on the road, okay? You know, I'm just saying, if you were...
30% of all new drivers write off their first car in the first 3 months.
Yep.
Not have a bit of a bum, write off. No, it would have qualified as good as gold if you'd been on Snetterton or Oliver's Mount.
I don't want to know who Dave's been mounting, thank you. What you get yourself in?
Seen some bloody good bike racing on Oliver's Mount.
Yeah. That's a fucking dangerous track, that is. Fuck me.
Yeah, there's been one or two fell off that straight.
I've seen, but last time I think I saw Barry Sheen live was at Oliver's Mount.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely little track, though.
Emo.
Really is.
It's a lovely track, but it's that double hairpin. And it's the straight after the monument.
You know who two of the owners are now of Oliver's Mount, don't you? Steve Parrish. Steve Parrish is one of them. Right? Steve Parrish is one. And who was the other? It's another bike racer. And I can't think of his name. Oh, I can see his name. Not Phil Reed. It'll come to me in a minute. It's that era, though. But yeah, it's two of the old bike racers. They said because they thought it was they thought it was sad that Oliver's Mount was going to waste, and it's got a hell of a lot of history at Oliver's Mount over the years.
It has.
And Steve Parrish wanted to put a little bit back into it and get it going again.
but they can't get permission to race up there anymore.
Nova, sit down.
Yes, Dave.
Just-
Late 70s, early 80s. He rode for Honda. He rode for Honda. He was team boss over Steve Parish at one point. Comes from Harrogate way.
Oh,
I can see his fucking face, but I can't think of his name.
same. Can't think of his name. He still rides out to Whitby occasionally.
Oh yeah, he still rides bikes. And he's in his late 70s now, bless him.
Yeah.
Still does trials riding as well. In his nearly 80, and he's still doing trials riding. And I couldn't do trials riding.
Yeah, we've got Dougie Lampkin's trials track up 3 miles out of town.
Yeah, well, Dougie and his dad, don't they?
Yeah.
People always forget Dougie was successful, but his dad wasn't useless either.
No.
Dougie's dad was a fucking good rider. He's a nice bloke as well, Dougie Lampkin.
Yeah,
Fuck
he is.
me, he's a proper fucking, really, really quietly spoken guy. So skilled though. Fuck me, what he can do on a bike.
I've watched some of his demonstration rides where they've challenged him to set up courses that look impossible and challenged him to ride them, including riding up the side of a car and onto the roof, balancing on the roof, 90-degree turning it and riding it off the bonnet, and then going round doing the same and off the boot. The level of skill that takes is unreal.
Oh yeah.
Because he's spending nearly all of his time on one wheel. I'm trying to remember who he used to ride for. I know he rode for Honda for a while, didn't he?
Yes.
But it wasn't Honda where he made his name.
No, it wasn't. Give me a second, I'm cheating, guys. I'm not going to try and say I was... He's a Yorkshireman, I know that.
Yeah.
Sit. Nope. Stop.
I'm going to kick myself when I remember it was. No, it wasn't him. Well, I'd forgotten about him. Chas Mortimer. Oh, there's a blast from the past. Yep, I'm kicking myself now. Mick Grant.
Yeah.
The other one who owns part of the track is Mick Grant. No, well, Barry Sheen was born in London. Baz was born in London, mate. Yeah, Mick Grant. He was. He's a character. I think Mick Grant was born in Harrogate or somewhere like that, somewhere around that part of the world. because he was Jamie Whittam's. He used to do a lot with Jamie.
Yeah.
He's a nice lad, Jamie Whittam. Good, that brings back some memories of the old days, people like that.
Yeah, Dougie's got an MBE.
Yeah. Well deserved. Well deserved.
His father was Martin.
Yeah. Because I think his dad did a lot. He went more into like the after his racing, he went more into doing tuition, and he did like clothing ranges and stuff like that. His dad. I've had to go on a trials bike when I was a lot younger, in my 20s. How the fuck them guys do trials bikes and hold bikes up like they do and stuff they do? Fuck that. Nah.
I need Fruity Pebbles and Choco Pebbles.
Right.
Please. No. Hey, you put that.
No. Any trash bag.
Oh, now you're talking, Dave. Back to the old days, Kenny Roberts. There's still the greatest Kenny Roberts and Barry Sheen video combined was 79 British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Murray Walker commentating, and I can remember it as clear as a bell. Right, it was a sunny day when we had sunny summer days in the 70s, and Barry Sheen overtook Kenny Roberts, and as he went past Kenny Roberts, one-handed, flat out on an RG500, turns around and sticks two fingers up from fucking Kenny Roberts. Days of that. Yes, I can remember. Thank you, William. The days of that in racing are gone. The days when we had sort of characters and people who were a laugh and they were cheeky and they'd do things like that. But the likes of James Hunt and people like that.
Oh, the first thing you did when he got out of the car was like a fag.
I mean, I put a picture up the other day in our chat of Joey Dunlop. And then Joey Dunlop, 10 minutes before a race, right, and he stood in the Isle of Man, just about to walk down to get on the bike, and in one hand he's got half pint of bitter that he's about to finish, and in the other hand he's got a Benson Hedges, and he's just about to go racing on the Isle of Man. That's the one, Lee. Oh, look, he's even got time to wave at him. Yeah, no, Murray, he's not waving. That's the era of racing I liked, because as much as there were some terrible accidents and there were some bad ones,
Oh, God.
I think one of the worst ones
Nicky Lauda's was one of the worst.
was that 76.
Yeah.
76, I can remember Nicky Lauda's accident. We were on holiday in Minorca. I was away with my mum and dad. I would have been only 4 then. 1979, we were in Greece on holiday when Ronnie Peterson was killed.
Yeah.
The Swedish driver, Ronnie Peterson, in the big accident. You know, terrible losses of life and terrible accidents. But you look back at it and you think all of those drivers had such a fucking fun time of. They were a right bunch of rebels and hooligans.
Oh, complete.
And James Hunt's badge on his overalls that said, "Sex, the best of champions." Can Can you imagine Lewis Hamilton getting away with that now?
No, I couldn't. Yeah, but you imagine Lewis Hamilton walking down the bloody side of the track with a fag in his hand.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
The thing is, though, Dave, it's true. Like that, the jokes came out about when, but Burns well with Shell about fucking Nicky Lauda, which Nicky Lauda would have just taken as and gone, yeah, whatever, fuck you, and just carried on because that's what he was like. And even, I mean, there's famous stories in Nicky Lauda's autobiography, and that is a fucking good read, that is, because it tells the truth about them two. And what he said, all this bullshit about him and Hunt being sworn enemies, absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
He puts it down to Hunt is the only reason he survived that crash. Because Hunt was pushing him and kept pushing him. And he even took the piss when he came out. Apparently he went down to the pits after the fire and turned round to Nicky Lauda and said, I said, I'm glad to see you've done something about your looks then. And this was after he'd been badly burnt. Nowadays, everybody... Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's 60% burns.
Yeah, I mean, his lungs were burnt internally and everything, weren't they? It was terrible. Yeah. Terrible. I mean, the pain that he must have gone through. But it was in the film they did where one of the journalists turned around to Nicky Lauda and said, how will your wife be able to put up with your looks now you look like that? That was true. James Hunt did kick the fuck out of the journalist. He went to found him and beat him up. It's like,
I can say, as soon as the race was over, the first person at the hospital was James Hunt. He didn't even take the podium.
Nope, he's straight there. I mean,
he was in a helicopter and straight to the hospital.
Exactly, Dave. It's all right. That's the thing. It's all right for them to take the piss out of each other, like we do, because we're friends. We can get away with taking the piss because there's still respect. Well, not so much for Dave. There's a little bit of respect, but anyway, there's respect there. But when you get some dickhead like a South African bearded wanker come in and start saying things to Dave about, oh, look, Baldy. Yeah, it's not going to wash. Sorry, mate.
No.
You don't get the right to say that, Dave. Sorry.
Yeah, they do play the media game. 100%. Because James Hunt loved being the bad boy. He absolutely loved being the bad boy of motor racing.
While holding his budgie. He's a strange character, though, wasn't he, James Hunt? He really was.
Yeah.
Just a shame he ended up like he did with alcohol and drugs. And
I was going to say, he died young, didn't he?
He was only 50, wasn't he? 50-something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a real shame, that was. But there were a lot of characters like that. A lot of characters like that. Oh, mate. Hunt and Sheen on a night out. Stavros as well.
He was younger than that. He was 45, was James Hunt, when he died in 93.
Jesus Christ. I mean, some of the stories, if anybody ever is into the motorsport stuff, go and look up Steve Parrish. and look up some of Steve Parrish's stories about James Hunt and about Mary Sheen, and some of the stuff they used to get up to, like blowing up the toilet block in Sweden, which is why there's no longer a Swedish Grand Prix, because that was down to Parrish and Sheen blowing it up with avgas. Sheen said, "I know what. We'll just put a little bit of avgas in the toilets, burn the block down. They'll have to build a new block. It'll be better next year." Yeah. 5 gallons of avgas and lit it. The roof left the building. This is Parrish telling the story. He went, the roof left the building in an upwards direction, and everybody in the pit lane was covered with the remains of what was in toilets. It didn't go, so they got banned from ever racing in Sweden again. That's why there's never been a Swedish Grand Prix since. You're never going to hear about a modern Grand Prix driver doing something like that.
Yeah, that was Malmo, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, because what a lot of people don't realise is Hunt was a bike racer as well, and a pretty good one.
And another person that all of this lot were friends with, and who was a rather good drummer, was one Cozy Powell. Cozy Powell was good mates with him.
It was also a good bloody racer.
Yeah, very good. I would love to have gone on a night out with Barry Sheen, Steve Parrish, James Hunt, and Cozy Powell. Can you imagine that as a night out? That would be unbelievable.
You would finish the night in intensive care.
I don't care. The stories you would have to tell from that, mate, would be unbelievable.
But
yeah, I know a few like that, Stevie. I know a few people who are named Hunt. Well, spelt wrong, yeah. I know a few like that. It goes back to, what we're saying in our group when we're putting all these pictures up of the old cars, is that modern cars, modern bikes, modern music come to that, or a lot of modern music, is boring as fuck. Right?
Got no soul.
You can't say this about people because it upsets somebody. Oh, fuck's sake, get over yourself. I've been ripping the piss out of everybody and anybody for my entire life, but I can take it back. This thing of, oh, well, you can't say that because if you say that, that could upset someone.
Bollocks.
Oh, well, never mind. I don't care.
It's kind of the world you live in.
I don't give a shit. I really don't give a fuck.
At the end of the day, we grew up in an era where you told the truth. Be it good, bad, or indifferent.
You're not allowed to do that.
So if it hurts somebody's feelings, it's tough luck. You can't argue with it. It's the truth.
You're not allowed to do it now, are you? Because of all the snowflake community.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. The truth shouldn't be censored. And I don't care if it offends somebody.
Yeah, but people believe their own self-importance as well. That's the other thing. People believe that they are important. Well, I could name a lot of people like that. To be fair, especially in the vape world, you know.
Yeah.
And you know what? The one thing I noticed is like Stevie put a message in earlier in the week saying about Mike Vape's lady wife who's not very well. And I hope she does get better. I genuinely hope, you know, she's okay.
Yeah.
Who knows, you know, but I haven't seen anybody else mention anything about that.
No, actually.
And it's not like Mike has said Mike's kept it quiet or Mike's hidden it. He's come out and he's told people.
They told everybody on a live.
And knowing what Mike's like, Mike was, you know, he's not going to say it unless he was comfortable with doing that. And yet none of them have said anything about it. You know, whatever Mike is, whether you like Mike Vapes or not, it's his missus going
Whether you
through
like
that.
them or not, you've got to respect the fact that he's designed some bloody good gear over the years.
Yeah, yes. I mean, as far as I know, it is cancer that she's got, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's cancer.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're in for a rough ride.
I hope.
Oh,
I
yeah,
hope
definitely.
I hope it's been found early enough where that she can get some treatment and maybe it all works out for the best in the end. I really do. So,
Yeah.
yeah, from me, I definitely say I hope everything works out. But cancer's a scary fucking thing, especially to go through it, someone you care about. So
Definitely.
So one of the things people forget is the families.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
they're going through it as much. They've been together a long time.
Yeah, ever since he started, before he was ever doing the vape stuff, long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's. I haven't seen how what type or how long it is, or any of that type of stuff yet, but whether Michael put more out or not, I don't know.
Honestly, the thing is, it's like everybody's screaming for information about the king and the Princess of Wales. Sorry, it's their private business. If they want to talk about it, they'll talk about it. If they don't want to talk about it, they won't. It's not up to us to decide that for them. We have no rights on their personal life.
We don't. Can't see Mike being over for Expo or anything though, somehow. Really can't.
Oh, no.
Not with it.
Because his time is up.
Yeah. And from what I can gather,
if things go reasonably well, then he might make next May.
he might do if things improve or whatever. Not that it's going to make any odds to me because I'm not going to Expo anyway. Yes, Dave, they're on Expo again.
I put it this way, I'm not going because the only person who's, if he's there, that'll have anything of interest, I can't afford.
I can't find orange pants anywhere.
There'll be lots of backslapping, too much drinking, and brown nosing of certain vape rubbers.
Oh yeah.
They don't. That's the thing, Dave. Compared to what it was 4 years ago, it's probably a fifth of what it was. They're all just going there now to congratulate each other on how wonderful, and let's all appreciate the great Victor and how wonderful Victor is.
Who?
No, let's not. Made me laugh, right? He put a post. I'll get a right little thing with Vic at the minute. He put a post up the other day, or somebody put a post on his wall saying, "Oh, when's Vic coming back?" Yeah, exactly, Dave. Who? Somebody put a post on when's the show coming back? Nobody, none of his admins, Vic, none of them replied. After that post, straight away, Vic put a video up saying, "Vote for me so I get another reward."
No.
I'm thinking about this. No, it's still the same answer. Go for yourself.
I can think of the sum total of,
You know what?
2 people I might nominate for anything.
I would like to nominate Vic for a kind of award. It involves a very ancient and wonderful place in Italy called the Colosseum. I vote we reopen it, restock it with lions and tigers, and throw Vic in the middle and release them.
Release Woodwick.
Release the Wadwick. Honestly, you know, I couldn't do that. He's put a video up saying, "Vote for me, I'm wonderful." No, you're not. You're a dickhead. Jesus.
There are 2 people who brought things out this year that I might be tempted to vote for. Yep.
That is one. I'm actually trying to think of somebody else. And I'm struggling.
No, they're both international.
Possibly the Yeehee. Possibly the Yeehee pod system,
Yeah.
I would say.
Okay, 3. Because the other one I might consider nominating would be Oscar.
I think we should all vote for me. I wish to get award for most irritating dickhead.
I'm sorry. There's somebody already beat you to that one.
What, Vic?
Yeah.
I must try harder. Honestly, I totally agree with what I mean. We've talked about this, Dave. And yeah, it is. It's the biggest load of bullshit on the planet.
Yeah. Yeehee's Pod System, Oscar, and Mike. And that's it. There's nothing else I think is outstanding. E-liquid's e-liquid.
E-liquid, I'd go with the usual. You know what I'm going to say for that. He does a rather good custard range.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
James,
Well, he's won a couple. He's won a couple.
possibly Fogstar I'd put in there maybe for an award.
Yeah, Fogstar for online retailer.
Possibly e-cig one as well, actually, for online. And to be honest, apart from that, and the award for the biggest Burke goes to the Salford Viper.
Well, see, the issue is, he would be up there, but half the devices he's supposed to review are still in the plastic.
True.
And he's still done a better review than certain reviewers. Yeah, but at least, Dave, when you did reviews, the reviews you did do, people knew that they could actually trust your reviews.
Yeah.
Because you were honest about it. How can I put it?
That's for the biggest dickhead.
How can I put this, Lee? I think Mr. B does deserve an award. For possibly being the most unprepared reviewer of all time.
The most trying reviewer of all time.
That's a good one. Yeah, which you always did, Dave. And that is why people kept coming back and watching. Because you didn't bullshit and say, oh, this device is fucking amazing and you should buy one. You'd say if something was good, if it was shit, you'd say it's shit. End of. And that is why we all used to come back and we'd watch. I don't want to watch a reviewer who's going to say everything is amazing when it isn't, because it's bollocks.
Right.
Yes, exactly, Dave. That is exactly it regarding Mr. B.
If you want to know exactly how not to do anything, go back and watch Mr. B.
Just go and watch Dave.
Or you could have watched the private video that we were watching of a certain.
Oh, the Flashbang review.
Yeah.
Here is my build on a stacked series mod with a 0.11 build in it. Yeah, but the thing is, Dave, your gaming channel is for you. Is just for fun. So what does it matter whether you're? It's about doing it for a bit of fun. If you're enjoying it and you're having a laugh, who cares? You know, it's
Well, you got to look at it. No one's out here to get rich on Twitch. Well, some people are, but we're not going to go there.
oh, there's a few, yeah, who think they can still get rich quick. You're never going to get rich vape reviewing. Promise you.
No.
Exactly. I mean, we know why you did your review channel. Those that don't, it was because of Dave's relative who passed away because of cancer. And that is why Dave did a vaping review channel, to try and encourage other people to move over to vaping. Arthur, that was his name. I apologise, Dave. I'm getting up to memories going. Yeah, it was for Arthur, bless him.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a lot of demand for 8-year-old tanks that you can't get coils for anymore, Dave.
You can see it now. It'd be wheeling all the old junk out the cupboard again.
Right down the corridor and down the chute.
I agree with you, Stevie. I agree. Dave, I like Dave's channel. I like Dave as a reviewer. Obviously, I like Dave as a friend. You know, and we had some damn good laughs on that channel.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun. Obviously, Dave's health sort of went downhill, unfortunately, which was worse for him. And it was a shame. But, you know, sometimes I think, plus I think Dave had just
Turning off the
he just
PlayStation.
had enough of all the crap, idiots.
That's it. I do miss Dave's channel, and the other one I miss is TTFTW, Team Tony for the win. And miss his channel as well.
Oh, Tony.
Yeah.
Ah, there was a character. I'd look. Do you know what? I wish Tony was still with us.
So,
I'd love to have. That would have been a dream to have Tony on there just for the laugh. Because it would have been so much fucking fun.
it would have ripped you and me apart.
I know it would, but it would have been worth it just for that. It would have been great.
Oh, it would. I'm not denying that.
I spoke to Tony about 3 days before he went. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I spoke to him about a week before,
and he wasn't a very well man at all, as people know. But by fuck, he was a cracking bloke. He really was.
I totally agree. Totally agree, Steve.
Yeah, totally with you on that, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
And I agree with that, Dave. It was a community because it never got too big. And since I was doing Dave's show, I was pissing everybody off, going on about community and irritating everybody, saying about, being part of the community and so on and so forth. and got ignored by a lot of people. There were some who listened, obviously, and it proved what I said at the time. People have just turned against each other.
They have, and it is a shame.
I mean, I could name quite a few people who Dave helped a lot, shall we say. One big vape reviewer, I think his name was Danny, big reviewer,
Yeah,
who Dave helped a lot and got stabbed in the back by, among others.
there's still too much backstabbing going on, Steve.
Okay, how many minutes now?
I may have
It
said
really
something at
is.
the time, Dave, about community. I may have bored everybody with it. The trouble was, is it just people wouldn't listen. Nobody would, and still aren't listening. But
No, they're not. We've got a lot of stuff potentially coming up that is gonna do a lot of damage because things we've been saying for 4 or 5 years, they've not listened to.
Nova. Boys, where's Nova?
can you hear me now, Dave? David, come in, David, come in. Dave, I think you're going a bit deaf in your old age. Plus, this cold ain't helping, to be honest. But
That's so much.
But there's people need to start working together and soon, or we're gonna lose everything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, we are.
I did see 1 or 2 in the Labour Party are finally starting to listen to the idea of licensing shops properly.
Yep. I don't want to guess it, remember?
I know.
Which will
No, you're
sort out an awful lot of problems.
True.
How much minutes was it?
Do you know, Dave, I am still using the microphone that you sent me over, the same old Marantz one. And it's still working perfectly well. So, and I see no point in upgrading it as it works. I've turned into a tight ass.
How much minutes has
I've turned into that much of a tight ass. I got a learner to lengthen my pockets so my wallet sits lower now.
It's all the time for your dad.
Now it is?
Almost.
It is a good mic. And like anything, if it works, what's the point in changing it? So,
I think you're right, Steve. There are too many agendas for people to agree. But if they don't start pulling together,
you know, after this, when it all goes wrong, there's going to be loads and loads and loads of people going, well, why didn't somebody say so? Why didn't somebody do something? Because we did, and you didn't listen. Yeah, it's the 1,000, Dave. Yeah. if people don't want to listen, I mean, this is only a small show. We don't get a lot of people in here, which suits me because we get good people. We all get on. We can all have a bit of a giggle, have a laugh, have a chat, and that suits me. That does mean I enjoy this. I really do.
Yeah.
So many people come into the sort of the YouTube channel thing and expect to suddenly have 20,000 people watching him or ridiculous numbers. Well, if you're doing it for that, you're an idiot. If you're doing it because you're doing it with a few friends and you've got some friends online who you can have a good laugh with, have a bit of a chat, have a rant once a week and say, oh, I'm fucking fed up with this and I'm fed up with that and this has happened and have a laugh about it and cheer each other up a bit.
Yeah.
I'm quite happy with that. I'm pretty happy with a channel which was really what Dave's channel was, the live shows. It was all about having a bit of a laugh, having a bit of a rant, taking the piss out of each other, usually Dave, unfortunately. But anyway, although he got his own back plenty of time, and just enjoying a couple of hours of having fun.
Yeah.
And then when you got the idiots come in, they took offence at it.
Well,
exactly, Dave. You said it. You predicted it. Yes, I am snorting live on YouTube.
And you're totally
Well, it
right.
doesn't seem to change your mental state at all. So
their complacency is going to be what kills it.
Exactly, and as we have with you, Steve. You know, I mean, I think I was the first person to take the piss out of you when you unfortunately lost your leg. But I also knew if I sent you a message, Steve, saying, "Oh no, Steve, I'm so upset. This is terrible." Stevie would have been sat there going, "He's fucking lost the plot. He's lost it."
Yep.
So the best.
What do you mean lost? What do you mean lost
yeah.
it? You never had the plot in the first place.
The best option was for me to send him a message saying about pirates and stuff like that. And we just haven't let it go yet. So Stevie now does it to himself and puts pictures of pirates up.
You guys have had me all day, I'm sure, so take a break.
But it's... The thing is, this little bit of insanity for 2 hours a week keeps us sane. Well, as sane as I'll ever be. As sane as I'm likely to have.
Don't push your luck.
No, this is as sane as I get. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not going to get any better. Right, as it is 2 hours and 6 minutes again, I believe we will call it a day or an evening, or possibly even a small snail called Fred.
Is that with a PH or 2 Fs?
2 Fs.
2 Fs, right.
And whoever wants to do the goodbyes can crack on.
Go on, Tyler.
I'll go first this week. All right, guys. Like always, it goes quick, but it's nice to have those couple hours, like Matt said earlier. That's
what she said.
The bullshit for. Yeah. Oh, would you stop it? It's nice to have the chat with everybody, once a week. And like I said, we need that check-in. I feel like to reset for the next week. As always, Facebook group is there. We don't use it a whole lot besides, car porn apparently. But
There's been
Oh,
some good
car.
cap on this week.
I'm glad he put the word car in
there's
front.
been some good ones on there.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever Facebook group you're on, Matt, we're not part of that one, buddy.
Oh, you haven't seen what Stevie's been sending.
I'm done for the week. Bill, say your goodbye.
It's been fun as always, and it's been nice to see you in chat again, Dave. And I just hope everybody has a really good week and be nice to each other. Over to you, Matt.
Bollocks. No, I better not leave it at that. Yes, thank you for turning up, everybody, and Dave. It's always good to see Dave and have a bit of catch up with him. I'm determined at some point to try and actually get him on here,
You don't want
see if he'll put an appearance in.
so
That might boost the figures up to 9 people. Yep, we know you're special, Dave. Very, very special. Your housing association said you were special. But yeah, if anybody does need any help with the mental health stuff, or just a chat, or a bit of a catch up, whatever, the groups are there. If it's just you want to put something up in the group, be it car pictures and all of that stuff, because that seems to be most of what we're sharing at the minute, or you want to put some comedy stuff in, so long as it's not anything too abusive, go for it. That's what it's there for. Have a bit of fun. If anybody's got any ideas for any future subjects they want to talk about, let us know. Hopefully things will improve with the situation we're in, the government situation. But I'm not holding my breath on that one. But I suppose we're all in it together, so whatever happens to one will happen to all of us. Joy of joys. And yeah, I think that's all I've got to say this week. So yeah, hope everybody does have a good week coming. And try looking after each other. So we shall see you next week, guys. Bye bye.